Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sophia if you guys are new here. So today I have a really highly requested video, and sorry if the lighting keeps going in and out. It's a cloudy day and the sun keeps going behind the clouds. But today I'm going to be doing a video all about brand deals and like how to land your first brand deals, do's and don'ts and everything like that. I have my outline here so because I wanted to make sure that I kind of give you guys the most information I can. So with working with brand deals with social media and stuff, you don't need to have a huge following to be able to work with brands. There's lots of brands that reach out to smaller influencers. Even for me, when I first started, I think I landed my first brand deal when I think even when I had less than 10K followers on Instagram and maybe like 20K or 15K on YouTube. It really just depends, honestly, on your engagement and your audience. Doesn't really matter about the followers as long as you have an engaging audience. That is what brands are looking for, because if your audience, even if it's small, if the people that are watching you like really look up to you and value your opinion, they're gonna want to use you to market their items or market whatever, because you have loyal followers. So, you know, trying to just keep that in mind, like numbers don't necessarily matter too much. Engagement is a really big thing that brands are looking for. That's why when you work with a brand, they ask for the insights after something. So if you post like a video or a picture on Instagram or a story on Instagram for this brand, they're gonna ask for the insights, which is like the impressions and like how many people actually click the links and stuff like that, because those are what matters. It's the actual clicks, it's the purchases of the items that really matter. So yeah, that's just like something to keep in mind too, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have that many followers, like I don't think I can work with brands. Like, you don't necessarily need a huge amount of following. So the first tip that I would say is to always have your business email on your social platforms. So for instance, in my YouTube, my business email is always in the description box, and I just put like for business inquiries or something like that, you guys can reach me at my email. I have a separate email for my personal use and then one for just actual brand uses, and like when companies want to reach out to me, I have a business email. So yeah. And I also keep my business email in my bio on my Instagram, because it just kind of helps brands see that, oh, okay, she's open to working with brands. So if they see that you have something that says sponsors, reach out to blah blah blah, or email inquiries, reach out to this email. I'll insert like a picture and stuff on the side so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. So in the beginning, when I was working with brands, I joined a lot of influencer marketing platforms, and this is like for.co, hashtag paid, Aspire IQ. I'll have like a list of them on the screen, and I'll have the links to them in the description box. These were really helpful for me because you kind of just sign up into this influencer marketing program, and then you can actually look at the campaigns that brands like put on that site and kind of like apply, if you know what I mean. So these companies work with these platforms to kind of put their campaigns on the site somewhere, and then they'll have influencers like sign up and then see if they're eligible for that campaign, and then you kind of discuss rates. But yeah, influencer marketing programs, I still use them, and they're really helpful to like look and find work. My favorite is for.co and Aspire IQ. I did a bunch of campaigns with them. My Victoria's Secret pink one was actually through For. So, and I also did my Neutrogena one, which was from Linkwa, was the one I got my Neutrogena campaign from. So these influencer marketing programs are actually really beneficial and really helpful for you to land your first brand deals. The next thing that I would recommend if you're trying to find a brand is to reach out to them directly. So if there's a brand that you really like, in the beginning I remember I think Zaful was a really big company at that time, and I wanted to reach out to them to work with them. And in the beginning, sometimes if you're a smaller influencer, you won't always necessarily get paid. Maybe you'll get free product, and like sometimes you just gotta kind of like be okay with that. When I worked with Zaful, I actually reached out to them and I was like, hey, like I would love to like make a video for you guys, like a haul or something, in exchange for like free clothes. And they gave me like a bunch of clothes that I got to pick out, and I did a haul video. And even though I wasn't necessarily paid, like compensated for it, it gave me a lot of exposure, because at that moment Zaful was really like big, and like Zaful hauls were really popular on YouTube, so it gained me a lot of exposure. So you kind of have to like weigh in the pros and cons if you're not gonna be compensated for it. At that moment I was like really more interested in growing my audience, and I knew that using a company that a lot of people were interested in watching was going to be beneficial for myself. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind. There's no harm in actually reaching out to these brands that you want to work with. I personally would just create a like email already. It kind of started like, hi, I'm Sophia, I'm a YouTuber, Instagrammer, blogger type deal, and I have this many followers, like this is my like demographics and stuff. I would love to figure out a way we can partner together or work together, whether that's on YouTube or Instagram or something like that, and then send that over to them. So you know, it never hurts to reach out to the actual brands. Another big tip that I would say to establish early on is having a media kit. Media kit has saved me so much time and hassle, and just makes things so much easier. Basically, a media kit is a one-page kind of like a showcase of your rates and like what you do, your platform, your followers. So your media kit kind of like describes you and like what you do, and then I have my Instagram, my TikTok, and my YouTube stats. So that's like my followers, and then I have my rates at the bottom. So I kind of establish it early on when I send these to these brands, so it's kind of like clear cut about what my followers are, how much I charge for certain promotions on things. So it kind of like saves you the time from talking back and forth like, oh okay, like how many followers do you have on this, and how much do you charge for this. Like I kind of have everything all laid out into this media kit. It has saved me so much time, and I just made my media kit on Canva. Super helpful. I recommend you guys making a media kit because it's super helpful. I would recommend just starting with the media kit from Canva. Just put like a profile picture, a little like short bio about who you are and what you do, and then a section for your social media platforms and how many followers you have, and at the bottom do rates and talk about the brands that you've worked with. So on one side I have a part on my media kit where I say like the brands, that previous brands I've worked with. So that's like Diva Curl, Neutrogena, HelloFresh, BioClarity, Victoria's Secret Pink. Let's just like bigger brands that I've worked with. And if you don't have anything like that to say, that's fine, but experience is good, so that they can see like, oh, this person has worked with these brands before, so you know they have some sort of like experience with this kind of stuff. It's kind of like a resume but with rates. So yeah, have a media kit. They're actually really helpful. Okay, so if brands don't reach out to you, follow up. I have done many follow-up emails where I'm like, hi, just wanted to follow up on my previous email if you're still interested in working together, blah blah blah, like all these things, so that it doesn't hurt to follow up on emails, because sometimes when you reach out to the brand, the emails can get lost somewhere. So reach out a couple times, see what's going on their end. So now I want to talk about rates, because I know a lot of people have questions about rates and what to charge per platform. It really depends. To be honest, it all started in the beginning for me when I just kind of threw out a number that I thought was reasonable for promotions on my platforms. I would kind of just look at CPMs and see how much I should normally charge, and like I looked it up, and I think it changes over time. But like for instance, if in the beginning when I just started my YouTube channel, I think I did sponsorships on my YouTube channel, like a video, for maybe $200 or something like that. As time went on, I would kind of like increase that and see if these brands are gonna say okay or not. And if a brand says okay to maybe like $300, I'm like, okay, if that brand is willing to pay me $300, like that should be my minimum, okay? So it just kind of keeps going up. I recommend using a CPM calculator to see your engagements and like your views on your YouTube videos or your impressions on your Instagram pictures to see how much you should be charging. But one thing that I would recommend is to always ask for more than your initial rate, because one, you never know if they're gonna say yes, and 2, doesn't hurt to try, and 3, like, you can always negotiate. You can always negotiate down. So let's just put out a number there. Let's say you normally charge $500, right, for an Instagram post. If a brand asks, like, okay, what's your rate for your post or whatever, I'll say like 600, okay? And they're like, oh, that's a little out of budget. Can we go to like 550? Like, that's already more than what you normally would charge, but like for them, it's like you're just kind of negotiating down, but for you, you already kind of started up high. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but you can always negotiate. So negotiate. But yeah, some brands that I've worked with have been great. They've been the ones to reach out to me. As time goes on, in the beginning, I really was the one reaching out to these brands first, and then now they're more to reach out to me. But I would say to build credibility first. Like, you don't always have to get paid. In the beginning, I was not really getting paid for things. I was just using it more as exposure and kind of like experience. So kind of weighing your pros and cons to see like what is it that you can gain from this company if they're not willing to pay you yet, because maybe you don't have like that many followers for them or that much engagement that they would like to see. So, you know, you don't always have to get paid. Still up to this day, there are still some brands that I don't get paid for, but there's something else that I'm gaining from it. So always, you know, see the benefits that you can get from that. Also, how to know if a brand is a scam. I just do my research before I actually work with these brands. Sometimes you can tell if these brands are not actually legit by the email they sent. Like, if it's in a weird font and like things are all over the place, like the professionalism isn't there, so I'm just like, I don't want to work with this company. Do your research when you work with brands that you're not really familiar with, because sometimes it'll look bad on your part if you're promoting a brand that's not actually that great. So always do your research. When brands reach out to you, they always leave their like links and like who they are. So like, do your research, trust your gut with things. And one thing that I would recommend is to always have a contract. Always have a contract after you agree on payment terms and when you're gonna get paid, how much you're gonna get paid, like the payment terms, because you don't want to be in that position where you do all the work, you upload things, and you don't get paid. They kind of like ghost you. You don't want to do that. For me, I personally do this thing where we do 50-50 payment terms. So when if for instance they ask me to make a sponsored video, so once I make the video, I send the video over to them, and once it's approved, they pay me the first half, and then after it's posted, they pay me the second half. So it's kind of like a safety net kind of thing. Sometimes I'll do a thing where once I receive the item, I get 50% of the payment terms, and then once the item is posted, I'll get the other 50. So kind of just make sure you're being safe with your money and make sure you don't get scammed. Have a contract. I always keep all of my contracts in a Google Drive. So, and sometimes brands won't, most of the time brands will be the one to make the contract for you and they'll send over a contract for you, but sometimes they won't actually say it. So I will be like, hi, like, can we draft up a contract upon agreement, and then usually it will go from there. Yeah, so there's no harm in having a contract because it makes sure that you get paid in a timely manner and that you get paid in the first place. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. I hope that this video was still helpful. If there's something more specific you guys want me to talk about, just leave me a comment down below. But I hope this video was helpful in general. I'll have the links to the platforms and stuff that I was talking about down below. But yeah, good luck guys. I hope you guys land your favorite brands and get your first brand deal. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Make sure you guys follow me on my Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. And yeah, I hope that was helpful. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!